Hello, and thank you once again for watching, and I'm so excited to present this new product to you. It's a lot of people who've done a lot of videos about this product, but I want to go ahead and give you my perspective. And I have the Master Palette by Mario, and I'm going to be talking about this, and I'm going to do swatches and a review. I'm going to tell you the pros and the cons, and I'm also going to give you my opinion about this particular product. So let's get started. Alright, with this particular product, this is a product that is made by Anastasia Beverly Hills. She is a makeup artist. She started off doing eyebrows and eyebrow makeup, and then moved to eyeshadows, to lip glosses, and I believe she's going to have some brushes out soon. So now she has this palette, and this palette was done with Mario, and many of you already know that Mario is a makeup artist for Kim Kardashian. Now, I'm not a big, huge Kim Kardashian fan, but even before I found out exactly who created this palette, I was already in love with this particular palette. So let's go ahead and get started with the review. Really quick, once again, this is a product that is made by Anastasia Beverly Hills. You can find it at Sephora, but right now with Sephora, it is out of stock. Now, I did look up Macy's, and Macy's has it. I also, I got an email that Ulta was selling it, but I went to Ulta and I couldn't find it. So I'm not quite sure about Ulta, but I do know that you can find it at Macy's because I looked it up before I even started, right before I started this video. Now, this particular palette, it is $45, and it comes with 12 eyeshadows. 3 of the eyeshadows are matte, and the other 12 are either a shimmer or a satin finish. And here it is right here. It also comes with a brush. I haven't had the opportunity to use the brush, but I've heard some pretty good things about it. So I don't think this is one of the brushes you just want to toss in the trash. You kind of want to keep this brush and try it out. And it's also a two-sided brush. So let me go ahead and start with the positives. The positives of this palette is, number one, it is very pigmented. It has a lot of color. With that being said, it does have a lot of fallout or kickback. And what I mean by that, some of the eyeshadows are pretty powdery. They're very soft, they're very buttery, they're very smooth to the touch, but a lot of times that causes fallout. So you might want to use this eyeshadow. You might want to put your eyeshadow on first, then put on your foundation and your other powders and things like that. Now, one thing that I did notice, if you use this product wet, it reduces the fallout tremendously. Now remember, when I say use them wet, only the shimmer and the glitter one, only the shimmer eyeshadows and the glitter eyeshadows are good for using them wet. And basically you just pick up the color on whatever brush that you choose to use, and with a spray bottle or your MAC Fix Plus or whatever you want to use, you just spray a little on your brush, wave it around, and then go ahead and apply it to the eye. Another positive thing about this palette is a very neutral palette, but it is one of the most warm neutral palettes that I've seen in a while. This palette is very women of color friendly. There's only one eyeshadow that might make you look a little ashy, and it is called Lula. This is the only one, and I actually use it as a transition color, and it wasn't bad. I think it was a little different for me because I never use cool tones like this one as a transition color. I typically use colors like this as a transition color, so it was something new for me to use, but it did work and it didn't look bad. Another good thing about this palette is that it is a very warm neutral palette, but it does give you some color. For instance, it gives you the Bronx, which is more like a green, and then it also gives you Claudia, and that's more like a bluish gray smoky slate color. So it does have some nice colors in here. It has a rose gold in here. It has a rust color. It has a very deep, nice chocolate brown color in here as well, and that color is called Violetta. Now I will say, if you go to Sephora, they give an excellent explanation of every color in this palette, so that's a great resource to look at as well. Now, one thing I will say about this palette is that I wish it would have had a black in it. That's a negative. Had this palette had a black in it, this would be the palette of all palettes. I did wish they would have added a black. Another thing I do like about this palette is that this is a palette that I could actually travel with. It has all colors that are needed. The only thing, like I said, it didn't have a black, so then I would have to take my ColourPop in roulette with me, taking this palette and then this eyeshadow on vacation, and I'm good to go. A few brushes and this will be all that I need. Another thing about this palette, the colors blend extremely well. I mean, when you're putting on one color and then you put on another color and you blend it in, trust me, these colors, they will blend in and transition like butter, and it doesn't require a lot of work. And any color combination that you use from this palette, it's going to work. So that's a good thing about this palette. Now let's go ahead and move to swatches. Now I'm getting ready to do some swatches on my hand, and many of you may know I repeat, I'm not the best swatch person, but I'm going to do the very best I can. Now this palette is, oh my god, these are so smooth. This palette is $45. You get 12 colors, so that averages about $3.75 per color. The first color I have for you is called Hollywood. It's a very nice true gold color, and this is Hollywood right there. The next color we have is NYC. This is the only color that I have not used. This is like a shimmer color, and it is NYC. A very nice color. And I already know that I'm going to like this color because I have other colors like it. Now, one thing I will say about this palette, I will say this. I have a lot of eyeshadows. I have a lot of palettes. Every color in this palette I already have, but I don't have all these colors together. So that's still a good reason to buy this palette. The next color is Kim. I've worn this one wet and it looked really nice, and I wore it wet on the eyelid. The next color is Mousse. It's here. And there is Mousse. And the next color I have, it's called Marina. When I say these colors are just smooth like butter, they are very smooth, very soft to the touch. I mean soft. Look at that. Oh my god. Wow. These colors are phenomenal. And the last color on that top row is Claudia, and here's Claudia, and there's Claudia. Okay, and I just swatched for you every color that is on top. Now let's go ahead and move to the second row. Now here is the second row. And this color is Lula, and this is a very cool taupey color. This is a color that I don't wear a lot of, but there is Lula. The next color is Isabel, and like I said before, a lot of these colors I already have in other palettes, or I already have in singles, but it is so nice to have all these beautiful colors in one location, and that's Lula. Now these two colors so far, I mean, this is Lula and this is Isabel. These two colors so far are your mattes, and Isabel, which is right here, is a color that I will use for a transition. The next color is Violetta, and that's that rich brown that I was talking about. This is a very nice color. This is a great color if you want to do a smoky eye, but you want to do a brown smoky eye. That's a very nice color to do that with. And even on my skin tone, once I put it on the eye, it actually shows up. The next color is Fifth Avenue. And there is Fifth Avenue. right there. The next color is the Bronx. Bronx is the only color, which is like an olive green, that I don't think, I have a matte color like this by MAC, but I think it's much lighter. But that is the Bronx, well, Bronx. And there it is. And this was the first color that I wore out of this palette. And the last color is Paris. And I'm gonna put it on my pinky finger. There's Paris. I've put this just on the eyelid as well. And when I tell you these colors are very pigmented, very soft, they are. And like I said, you will get some kickback from them, but most of these colors you can use them wet as well. You just can't use the matte ones wet. And that is that second row. So here's the second row here, and here's the second row actually on my arm. Now, will I say that this is an excellent palette? Yes. Will I say you probably have a lot of these colors at home? If you are very fond and have a lot of makeup and you're fond of makeup and different eyeshadows, you do have these colors. But do you have them all in one palette? You don't. So for me, this is definitely a great palette. This is definitely a thumbs up. It is definitely worth the $45. The one thing I will say about this palette, I wish it had a black, and it does have some kickback to it, but these eyeshadows are soft and smooth to the touch. So this is about all I really have to say to you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, because I enjoy bringing it to you. Remember to thumbs up. Also, make sure that you remember to subscribe and keep those comments and questions coming. I really love it when I open up my laptop or my iPad and I get a chance to see different people's comments and ideas and things like that. So please, whatever you do, keep them coming. You can also follow me on Instagram. Once again, this is Tia from Tia's Beauty Mark. You guys go out there and make this day greater. Be blessed.